Aloha campers! Welcome back to day 2. I'm so excited to see you back on Treasure Island. Today we are going to be building the second part of our Robo Rider. I'm so excited! So what we're going to do today, guys, is we're going to put in the batteries first. Remember, today in camp you guys learned about electricity and circuits. In order to have a closed circuit and not an open circuit, we need batteries. We need our power source. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our blue motor box and we're going to take our screwdriver that comes with your kit. So this is my screwdriver, but you guys probably have a small green one to use. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn this towards us. We call that counterclockwise. So we're going to turn the screwdriver so it's turning towards us. Okay, so I'm going to get that out. Oh, and then it just flips open like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take 2 AA batteries. And this is the nose, or the positive side, the nose, that little bump. And this flat side is the negative side, or it looks like a minus on our battery case. So if you look right here on inside of our battery case, it tells us it wants the positive side to be up here. So that's the nose side. And on this side, it wants the flat side, or the negative side, to be up. So what we have to do is that our batteries should be facing opposite ways. So on the side that's closest to my compass bracelet, it should be the flat side. The side that is furthest away from my compass bracelet, or my right side, should be the positive side up, or the nose. So once we get that in there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to close. Sometimes you have to kind of wiggle it. It doesn't want to fit just right. There we go. So we're going to close that case again. And now this time we're going to take the screwdriver and we're going to turn the screw away from us, or clockwise, like a clock. That's why they call it clockwise. So it goes 12, 1, 2, and counterclockwise goes 12, 11, 10. So clockwise is away from us right now. Counterclockwise would be towards us. Okay, let's turn that just like that. So it's nice and secure. Okay, so now that we have the batteries inside our motor case, what we want to do is we want to do a battery check. Because usually the batteries work and the motor usually works, but sometimes we could have bad batteries. Before we build the rest of our Robo Rider, we just want to go ahead and make sure that our batteries are working. Okay, so this motor is really cool because it can make our robot go in 2 directions. So the off is actually right in the middle. If we move it to the left, it's going to move our robot forward. If we move it to the right, it's going to make our robot move backwards. And the arrows are on there. Now, if your motor is going in a different direction, let's say if you turn it to go forward and it's rolling backwards, that's okay. It just means that your batteries are in the wrong way. So you can either leave it as it is, or you can go ahead and open up the motor again and switch them. Okay, so we have our motors in. We're going to make sure that we turn our robots off today because I want my robot to have lots of power to play with on Friday. So I'm not going to touch it. So I'm just going to leave it off now that I know it works. Now it's time to build the rest of the chassis. What we need to start is we're going to need 2 yellow rods and we need 2 white snowflakes. Okay, 2 yellow rods, 2 white snowflakes. Now I have all my pieces in my tech tray, remember, like we did yesterday, ready to go. It really helps when we're building not to lose our pieces. Now that we have our pieces ready to go, we're gonna go ahead and build. So what I wanna do is I wanna take my 2 pieces from yesterday, my motor with my back wheels attached, and then my front axle with my 2 front wheels. So I want to have both those pieces ready because we're going to actually take this and we're going to attach it to the motor. Okay, so I'm going to take this and make sure that this is facing, the words are facing away from me again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt it up so that genius, the words are now facing me or facing up. So I should see that flat part where we put the batteries in, the battery case. I'm going to go ahead and if you turn it on its side, so turn it so that flat part is facing my compass bracelet. What I'm going to do is see how that part, there's parts all along here. There's little parts we can snap it in. I want my yellow rod to be flat or straight, going straight with my motor. So we're going to find, so you could start at the axle where it connects and count 2 over. 1, 2. So right in that middle. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it over so the words are facing, the flat part is now facing my right hand. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to snap that yellow rod into the snowflake so that it's going with my motor. So each side should look the same. Let's do a buddy check. Does yours look like mine? Great job. You guys are awesome listeners. At the top of these 2 yellow rods, we're going to attach a white snowflake to each one. And it doesn't matter where you attach it because they're all the same. Anywhere I put it, it will work. So you should have 2 yellow rods and 2 white snowflakes. Okay, the next step is I need 2 more yellow rods. 1, 2. Now what we're going to do on this one is I'm going to take my front axle with the 2 sunshines or the 2 yellow snowflakes. And we have one end that's bit into that axle, that yellow rod. So I want to turn it, and now I'm going to snap in the yellow rods to that other end. So we are not going to have anything in the middle right here. We're just going to have one end bit and one end with a yellow rod, just like that. Awesome job, guys. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to attach these 2 pieces. So I'm going to take my motor box and my front axle, so my rear axle and my front axle. And now I want them to kind of make a V shape, a V shape. So I'm going to go, if we look right here where the yellow rod comes out, if we go one to the right, we're going to snap in our front axle, and we're going to make sure that our yellow snowflake, the little middle pieces, are facing out, not towards the motor, away from the motor. And then we're going to snap in the opposite side or the other side the same way. So now when it stands up, it should make a V. So let's look again. Ready? We have a yellow rod that connects to a white snowflake. And then we have a yellow rod connecting to our yellow snowflakes on our front axle. And that's going up and connects right next to that other yellow rod. Okay, great job, guys. Good buddy checks. You guys are very persistent. You guys don't stop, and it's amazing. Great job. For the next part, we're going to need 1 red rod and 2 white snowflakes. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to bite this red rod in on top. So I'm going to take the red rod and put it on top of the snowflake. Now there's kind of a middle part that points a little bit towards me, I'm going to go ahead and bite it right into those. So what I do is I hold onto it with my hands to secure it, and then I snap it in just like that. Okay, so you should have that red rod and you should have it bit into those 2 white snowflakes. Then we're going to take one of our white snowflakes and we're going to put it on the end by snapping it on. And we're going to snap on the other end, just like that for our RoboRider. Okay, for the next part of our chassis, you guys need to take out a yellow sun snowflake, and 3 blue rods. So 1 yellow sun and 3 blue rods. Okay, so now I want to do is I want to bite this yellow snowflake onto that red rod. And what I'm going to do is I want to bite it right in the middle of those 2 white snowflakes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rays of my yellow sun snowflake, and I want those pointed up towards the sky. I'm going to bite it on the very end of the snowflakes so that all these parts are facing away from me once I turn the motor this way. Now I'm going to snap in 1 blue rod on the end. I'm going to skip a spot and clip on another blue rod in the middle of that sun snowflake. And then I'm going to put the next one in that last spot that I can. So you should have 1 blue snowflake facing out. And then if I turn the robot towards me, so where the words on the motor are facing me, I should have 2 blue rods kind of pointed back at me. Let's do a buddy check, guys. Does yours look like mine? Great job. Awesome. Guys, we're almost done with the chassis. You guys are definitely master builders. Okay, so we have this part now. I'm going to take another white snowflake out of my text tray. And I'm going to take another yellow snowflake, a red rod, and I'm going to take out a yellow rod from my tech tray, a yellow rod. Okay. So at the top of the middle blue rod, see there's 1, 2, 3. At the top of that blue rod, I'm going to clip on a white snowflake, or snap on, clip on, just like that. Then I'm going to clip my yellow snowflake. I'm going to have the flat part facing the ceiling or up. I don't want it to go in this spot, but at that blue rod, I want it to go in the next spot like that. So if I turn it to the side so that the words on my motor are facing my right hand, my non-compass hand, I have the yellow snowflake on that blue rod facing out in that second spot. And then I have 1 white snowflake clipped on to that blue rod. And the last thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to take this yellow rod and snap it in so that it connects the yellow snowflake and the white snowflake. So I should have a triangle. Okay, there was 1 more piece. Do you guys remember what it was? The red rod. Good. Okay, so I'm going to take my red rod now and let's turn the motor so it's on its side again and the words are facing my right hand so we can see it a little bit better. I'm going to take the red rod. I'm going to skip. I don't want it to go in this part, but in that next spot, I'm going to snap it or clip it in, just like that. Okay, and for the last part today, guys, we're going to take out a gray duckfoot snowflake, a gray duckfoot snowflake. And I'm going to have this face the motor. I don't want it to go this way away from it. I want those little duck feet to face the motor. And that top snowflake, I'm going to clip it on to that top part of the snowflake. Okay, guys, let's do a final buddy check. Does your guys's look like mine? Let's check it out. So we should have a yellow snowflake, a blue rod, a blue rod, a blue rod, a white snowflake, and a yellow snowflake connected together by a yellow rod, and then a red rod coming down with a duckfoot snowflake facing my motor, facing the motor. Awesome job building today, guys. That was so fun. tomorrow we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna work on cool tools and modifying our stuff. I can't wait to finish building this robot and getting to modify it how I want it to go. You guys were awesome builders today, and I'm so excited to show you more parts of the island tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Bye.